joining us. I'm joined today by Angie. She's one of our business club members for our latest member spotlight. So Angie, no more delay, I'll over straight to you. Tell us a bit about your business.
Okay, good morning, Kerry. So I am a stress therapist and weight management specialist. I used to be a personal trainer for many years, and I retrained in 2007, and I've done many courses since. So I predominantly work with anxious, stressed, depressed males, females, and generally they are, maybe overweight as well, because it quite often goes hand in hand. We know that stress causes difficult emotions, and quite often the difficult emotions are soothed by self-medicating with food, chocolate, crisps, crackers, cheese, and alcohol. So they do tend to go hand in hand, but they are the two niches that I work with. And for me, my big thing, everyone says, what's your why when you're in business? And my why is change. I love to see fast changing people. And with the techniques, the strategies, and the motivational hypnotherapy, I do get fast results, and that's what I love. I love to see a client coming back after even 1 or 2 sessions, and they are so different. So, so I do have programs, 3 different programs that I work with clients. I have my weight management program, hypno antidepressant program, and an anxiety program. And they're all different, but they all have one thing in common, and it's 6 sessions of motivational hypnotherapy with me. So I'm about fast, effective results. I don't want people, stuck in therapy for years and years unnecessarily. So yes, that's what I do, and that's what I love doing.
Wow, just sitting here thinking, you must be really busy, because I don't think I know anyone who's not something, needing something that you've just said, certainly after the COVID pandemic and what have you as well. So you mentioned you're a personal trainer. Have you always sort of been in this kind of work then,
Not really, Kerry. I mean, I've done many things, to be honest. I worked in finance years ago and worked my way up as receptionist, doing all the in-house insurance and financial exams to become branch manager. And then I left, went into partnership with my husband, who was a building and roofing contractor. But I have been a fitness instructor for many years. And then I re-qualified with an international qualification in 2001, 2002, when we emigrated to New Zealand, and bounced back after 17 months. But fitness has always been in my background, because health and well-being is really important to me. Always has been, always will be, because my health and fitness comes before anything else. Because if you don't look after your health and fitness, who does?
And where do you think that's sort of stemmed from then? Because it's probably quite unusual, isn't it, for you to prioritize?
It is, and I think it's just the fact that, so I'm the second youngest of 7. I have 4 older sisters. I know, 4 older sisters, 1 older brother and 1 younger brother. So we were always running around, doing stuff. When I was at junior school, I did gymnastics, and I just think that I love sport. I love moving around. I did all the usual things at school, but then when I started working in finance, I'd done all the team sports, and I started going to a gym, and I just loved the way my body shape changed, because I'm only just 5'4", and I started looking a little pear-shaped, shall we say, and I didn't like it, and I thought, how can I change this? I don't like it. So I started going to the gym, just doing 4 sessions a week. My body changed very quickly, and then I just started training more with the weights. Went to a bodybuilding competition years ago in Bridlington, and the British champion was doing a guest spot called Carolyn Cheshire, and she was the first silhouette for the Bond films. And she looked amazing. I thought, that's how I want to look. But then it went from there, and I was a bodybuilding competitor for 7 years. I was also a national judge and international judge for 30 years. So, yeah, it's just always been, I love walking, cycling, playing table tennis, any racket sport I love. And it's the one thing I really missed in the lockdowns, was the gym being closed. I mean, I do have a cross train. I've got kettlebells, dumbbells, and I'm still exercising on a daily basis. But it's the benefits. If I could bottle the benefits of exercise, I would be the richest woman in the world.
You absolutely would, yeah, and you can see how clearly passionate you are when you're talking about it.
Yeah.
And what got you then into the hypnotherapy side of things and
To be
that?
completely honest, I got bored of working with bodies.
Right, okay.
So people, yeah, if people turn up at the gym, if they're motivated, they maybe, I don't know, they do a sport and they want to be stronger and fitter for that, then you could get that interest. But then people just turn and just tell me what to do. I'm not really interested. And it's not, there was no injection of enthusiasm, shall we say. Every client was different. And I thought, no, it's a time for a change for me. So why hypnotherapy? I'd actually looked at going back into office management, got up to date with all the qualifications. My daughter was 11. I'd done the job interviews. I've been offered 3 jobs, and it was half term. We were at Centre Parks. And as us mums do, we, went for a facial and a massage. And I think it was a Top Santi magazine with a really in-depth article about hypnotherapy. And I just said to the ladies, do you mind if I take this back to, the chalet and have a read? Yeah, take it, that's fine. And it was a very in-depth article that piqued my curiosity. So I did my research to find out what colleges were available. And luckily for me, there was one in Leeds that was part of Leeds General Infirmary, using their and Leeds Uni classrooms and facilities. So I did the foundation course, and I was the naughty one at the back, the most skeptical, but it totally blew my mind. So I then went on to do a diploma. Me being me, if I do something, I have to get the best results I can. So, a diploma with distinction was what I wanted and what I achieved. But I think more than anything, I've always been a believer in the power of the mind. We can do whatever we put our minds to achieve, because the only barriers in life are what we put there. And I've been in that pit of despair, depressed, anxious, and everything else. And I hated it, and I'm never going back there. So, I live life one day at a time. And it's what I tell everyone I work with, your unconscious mind's awake 24/7. So it only knows about now. It doesn't know about the past or the future. So it makes sense, therefore, to live life one day at a time today and have the best day every day. And it's how I've lived life since 1989, and I have a great life.
You clearly do. It's infectious, actually. You can see that you do that, and you live by what you're talking about. So how do you apply that to your business? You've worked for yourself for quite a lot of years then?
I've been self-employed 25 years. Wouldn't have it any other way. I couldn't go back to working for someone else. I'm a rebel. So, even as a child, I think, because being the second youngest of 7, the youngest girl, being told what to do is always, I'll do the opposite. If you want me to do something, ask nicely and I'll consider it. But if you tell me what to do, you've no chance. And I think, it's the joy of freedom to work in a way that works best for you without having to adhere to red tape or company policies. It's having that freedom, and that's what I love, without being told, no, you must do it this way or you have to do it this way. No, I do it the way that works for my clients. They're all individuals, they're all unique. So I'm not going to do, it's not one size fits all. Us humans were not like that.
Yeah, absolutely. And what has been challenging then in that journey of self-employment and running?
I think it's that initial thing where you spend money on things you don't need. Initially, it was like business cards. You always need compliment slips. Do you remember what they were?
I do remember, yeah, but haven't seen it for a long time.
Stationery and yeah, then adverts, and it's finding out very quickly what works and doesn't work. And again, this last 15 months, the change, you know, because I've only ever seen clients face to face. So I thought I would lose my business overnight, you know, with regards to new clients. But then I thought, well, what about the clients who I've been seeing for a few years who have top-up sessions, because I can't cover every eventuality in life and they do need top-up sessions. So I thought, well, I'm going to have to do what everyone else does, good old Google, you know. I mean, I'd used Skype previously to do consultations, didn't like it because connections kept dropping. So found out about Zoom, did a couple of workshops, flipped my business online, and you know what? It increased my geographical reach magically overnight. So I was working with a lady in Falkirk in Scotland for weight management, someone in Birmingham for anxiety and stress, Cheshire, even people that live like Ripon, which would, you know, be an hour drive to get here, an hour for a session. So, you know, 3 hours for an hour session, and all that now has disappeared. You know, it's great therapy in the comfort of your own home, and all the time you need to think about is the time for the session. You don't have to worry about parking, traffic, accidents, cold winter nights, nothing like that. You know, it's just the time for the session itself. So, and it's just as effective online as it is face to face. I've had some fantastic results over the last 15 months.
Great. I mean, yeah, a lot of people have said that, and I know for me, you know, with what I do as well, it's massively opened up the geographical reach of barrier that it perhaps used to have in place, where, you know, if you weren't more local, you couldn't do it. And even, like you say, even within an hour or so, you've still got to think about the travel element, haven't you? But yeah, now
it's the time factor, isn't it? You know, if you've got children as well,
yeah,
and you know, credit to all parents with young children that have to homeschool, you know. Yeah, it must have been so hard. So then, you know, you're thinking, I need an hour as well on top of all of that, between the kids' clubs, you know, in normal times. Where do you pull that extra time from? And we're always short of time. So to me, even now, I am back to seeing people face to face, but I'm being restrictive with the numbers that I'm seeing, and I will still push Zoom sessions because it is so easy for someone, you know, I come to you in the comfort of your own home. What isn't there to love about that?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's success look like for you then? We talk about the different, you know, the different measures that people have of this within our group quite a bit.
Success for me, as I said, that my why is the change. You know, I'm actually working with a lady at the moment who is doing my weight management program, and she's the first person that I've seen face to face. So most of my programs, the first 3 sessions are weekly. So week 1, you have session 1, following session 2, and the following week, because I think it's intense work getting there, make changes straight away. And hypnotherapy can start working within hours. People don't realize that. And we all do self-hypnosis on a daily basis. Everyone can be hypnotized. So we did the first session with a consultation, which takes an hour and a half minimum. And off she went, you know, with her assignments, because people get homework to do. And she came back the second week, and she was a different person. She was walking taller, standing taller. She had a massive smile on her face, and she came in and sat down. She said, "What on earth have you done to me?" Because quite often when people come to me for the weight management program, I'm a last resort. They've done Slimming World, Weight Watchers and everything else. And, you know, diets don't work. They're restrictive. It's denial, deprivation, and they program you to obsess about food. But my freedom program is freedom from all of that. You know, it's about working with what's up here. And when she first came to see me, like a lot of other women that I've worked with, I'm doing this for me. No one knows about it. I'm not going to tell anyone at all. And I have to say to them, doing this, working with me, because you know, I am passionate about what to do, and it is very motivational hypnotherapy. People will notice changes in you straight away. And you may, you know, and you know, people just look at me and think, oh yeah, whatever. And she came back, and in the second session, she says, I wasn't going to tell everyone. She says, everyone who knows me now knows about you. So, you know, it's brilliant, because she's a walking advert for me. Fantastic. Yeah. And I have to say, I get so many referrals from people that I have worked with, and I always have done. So, that's fantastic. I mean, in this lockdown, the most recent one, I worked with 3 members of the same family.
Right. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
So one was the weight program, one was anxiety program, and one was my hypno antidepressant program. And all 3 have given me fantastic testimonials.
Yeah, fabulous. And
So
so how do you, who generally is it then that's coming to you? I had no idea that everyone could be hypnotized, actually. I thought that
absolutely. The only people that can't be hypnotized are the people that may sit there and say, right, you can't hypnotize me, that's never going to happen. I'll just say, in fact, I have a client that I worked with, but I'll just say to them, the door's there, that it's pointless you being here.
Yeah.
So I worked with a guy 9 years ago who was an alcoholic. And I think I had 4 sessions with me. And I got a text from him. I've been working with his daughter, actually. And he sent me a text after 7 years saying, I cannot believe 7 years dry since I came to see you. And it's all down to the work that you did with me. I can't thank you enough. And he said, and I still recall the first conversation in our first session when I said to you, well, what if you can't hypnotize me then? I said, well, the door's there, off you go, see you later. Because it's pointless. If someone's fighting you, you're not going to get anywhere. So, hypnotherapy, it's just phenomenal. It's mind-blowing, seeing the changes, seeing the results. And yes, it's a perfectly natural thing for us all to do. It's just a different level of awareness of mind and body, a different level of relaxation of mind and body. You're not unconscious, you're not asleep, you're aware of your surroundings and what's happening. But generally speaking, it's because people want change in their life. And if you had a room full of 100 people, every one of those people would benefit from hypnotherapy, because obviously I don't just work with people that are stressed, depressed, or overweight. I work with children from 9 years old upwards.
Right.
All sorts of things, fear of being sick, fear of being ill. I've worked with people with OCD, bulimia, anorexia, addictions to chocolate, alcoholics, people wanting to stop smoking, so many people, that I can work with for confidence to pass the driving test, confidence to do a presentation, confidence to go for that promotion at work. There are so many things that I work with people where it's the motivational hypnotherapy and the coaching to get them to to their goals, where they want to be. And there isn't a person that I have yet to meet that I wouldn't be able to do some work with.
Yeah. I mean, I could chat to you for hours about it. It's really interesting. So we'll move on. What about Empower then? Obviously, you've been a member of Empower for a while now.
I think it must be about 3 years.
Yeah. So what brought you to Empower? What do you like about it?
Okay, what I love about Empower is, as you know, you're self-employed, you work from home, you're isolated, apart from the people you work with. You don't have a team shouting behind you, brainstorming with you, supporting you and things like that. So for me, I've done various different types of networking. Some I've got on with, some I haven't. But what I liked about Empower is, it was face-to-face initially, 15 months ago, but it's like-minded people, that are either self-employed or high up in a business. And it's an opportunity just to meet, chat, brainstorm, socialize. So for me, the networking with Empower is probably more towards socializing with like-minded people, with networking thrown in. And that's what works so well for me. So I have actually loved the online networking, because I've actually met and talked to more people than I ever would. Because I think when it's face to face, you do tend to gravitate to the people you've spoken to previously, and it is a quick catch up. Hi, how are you doing? And then you go on to the next person you've not seen for a while. So it can be that tendency to just talk to the people you already know, and then you realize, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be networking, but it's so lovely to catch up with people and just have a good chat and find out what's going on in their lives.
Yeah, whereas I guess the online thing, we're putting you in a position with somebody to have a chat and
Yeah, and get to know. And you know, in all honesty, I have worked with a lot of members over the last 15 months that are members of Empower.
Right, great.
So,
It's
so that's
getting your business as well.
absolutely. And I think that is the thing, isn't it? It's who you know, not what you know. So again, because of the lockdowns, so I used to do an expert column in the local Link magazine, which is, you know, it's like a directory of businesses. But of course, they stopped printing. So it's like, so how am I going to get my business then? Because as a therapist, when you work with people, you get them to the goal. Quite often they don't need to come back. So, you know, you're constantly looking for new people to work with. And of course, then because the people I've worked with, they may not be out there telling everyone about me, but every one person I work with will tell at least 10 people about me and the work I've done with them. And then those 10 people may say to another 10 people. And as you know, it's how it quickly goes out into the world. And if you're good at what you do, then that is how you get your business. And that's what's worked for me, especially with Empower, with networking.
Yeah. And what about, you know, I suppose the other side of it, I've spoken to some other members about, you know, it also gets you business, but helps you with your business too in any other services that you might be looking for or need.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I love tech. I embrace it. But certain things, you know, it's frustrating trying to learn it when you can have a conversation with someone or get someone to spend an hour with you, you know, and show you the quick way of doing it instead of finding the stumbling blocks as you go along. And it's so frustrating because it's time. It's always time. And again, you know, that's one of the biggest things that I work with people. I do something called the Wheel of Life. It's about well-being. And within the Wheel of Life, you put on the 8 most important things, you know, at this point in time in your life. And then you scale them from 0 to 10 on how satisfied you are with them. 10 being the most satisfied, 0 being the least. Generally speaking, there will be 4 things on there that are impacted by time. So the first thing is to accept you cannot get any more time. There are only 24 hours in a day, but that is what causes people so much stress.
Yeah, I can relate.
Yeah.
So what would you say to anyone then who's sort of on the fence, thinking about joining us and hasn't yet?
Go for it. Go for it, because you'll have a team behind you that will be your cheerleaders. They will support you. They will help you to do, you know, it's such a friendly bunch. Compared to some networking I've done, it isn't pushy selling, which is what I love. You know, it is informal. It is getting to know one another, getting to know what we do as businesses. So it is having a team there 24/7 that can help you support your business, help you within your business, and you can do the same for other people. You know, one of the things I've always done is coaching people in new business, because I know the pitfalls of 25 years being self-employed. I know not what to do as well as what to do, what works. And so I coach people that are just starting out, you know, and especially people over 50, women that are coming out of a career in whatever, you know, like, this is what I want to do. How do I do it?
Yeah.
You know,
And it is often that, isn't it? Just
it
what
is.
do I do next?
Yeah, what's the next step? What do I do? Where do I go? So actually knowing that there is someone out there that can help you do that, who has done it, you know, and has the integrity and the honesty to say, right, well, I wouldn't advise you to do that. This works for me. It might not work for you, but don't waste your money on all of that because you don't need it.
Yeah, that's it.
Because again, you know, time is the biggest thing, and then finances is the second thing.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it? We all need to be able to actually earn some money out of our businesses too.
Yeah, because, you know, it'd be lovely if we all were millionaires, but we're never going to be, or some of us maybe, I don't know. But it's being able to live a comfortable life without the worries of, you know, what's going to happen, is the mortgage paid for the next 6 months, things like that. And your mindset, money mindset, is so important. It really is.
Yeah. Well, as you say, I can't think of anybody that it sounds like you can't help. So perhaps we'll have a further chat. But yes, thank you so much. It's great to chat to you, and you know, you're a wonderful part of our community as well,
Well,
and
thank you.
a lovely contribution that you make. So thank you for that.
Well, thanks for that. You're welcome. I love being part of the community. As I say, it's so good.
Great. Right. Thank you very much. We'll stop the recording now. I'll speak to you again soon. Thank you.